Well, this bike has been a long time coming. Harley has invented a new rollout strategy, introduction by 1,000 leaks. Now we finally have the 2022 Sportster Nightster, so let's take a look at the deets and compare it to the competition from Indian, Triumph and Honda. So settle in, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help this channel grow. Let's go! I actually enjoyed this introduction video. Who would have thunk it? Until I looked up the price, but more on that later. And with the Evo, an engine introduced in 1986 and powering the Iron 883 and 48 coming to the end of its long service, this is the accessible Harley of the future. It is also the bike that Harley sorely needs to represent the brand in the lucrative European market where lighter, more nimble motorcycles are favored over the typical heavyweight Harleys. So let's look at the details. Engine 975cc Revolution Max with 90 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 70 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. That's more horsepower than a Scout 60 and Rebel 1100, but 10 less than the Indian Scout. However, the Scout weighs about 90 pounds more than the Nightster, so the Harley may well be faster and will almost certainly handle better. With a wet weight of 481 pounds, the Nightster undercuts all of its competitors, some by a lot, and that's a big positive in my books. The new Sportster also comes with 3 rider modes: Sport, Road, and Rain, and adjustable ABS and traction control. The seat is a fairly low 27.1 inches and the fuel capacity is a typical for a Sportster 3.1 gallons or 11.7 liters. And there's also a slipper clutch. There's nothing groundbreaking on this bike, but I have to say that it looks good, notwithstanding the huge radiator and exhaust. Those can't be helped. And Harley leans into those looks by basically showcasing several custom builds they commissioned with everything from bobbers to flat trackers and cafe racers. And those bikes all look great. Being a 60-degree liquid-cooled V-twin, the Sportster Nightster won't sound like my Evo. The new engines will never again capture that old-school character, but it will have plenty of accessories, including exhaust, that will sound pretty good. Additionally, bags and backrests and many other tidbits are already available on the website to dress up your ride. So, all in all, the bike looks good and I prefer the styling to the rather polarizing Sportster S. However, there is one big problem with the Nightster, and that's the price. In my last video, I stated that this bike would either compete with the Scout 60s, in which case it should cost around $10,000 US, or with the Scouts, in which case $12,000 was the more likely price. Harley priced the Pan America competitively, and I expected the same for this bike. Well, I was wrong again, although credit to the viewers of this channel, several of whom correctly guessed the name, horsepower number, and price of the new bike. And that price? $13,500 US. Plus $575 freight and another $500 surcharge. Surcharge for what, you ask? I don't know. The Harley badge, I guess. That's a mistake. The most expensive Scout costs $1,000 less and has 10 more horsepower. Yes, it's much heavier, but in the cruiser world, that's not necessarily a big negative. This bike costs as much as the Triumph Bonneville Bobber and doesn't look as good. Personally, if I was in the market for a bike in this class, I'd go for the 100 horsepower $11,500 Scout Bobber, spend the difference on a better rear shock and exhaust, and still have money left over. And if you're penny pinching, the Scout 60s and Rebel 1100 undercut the Nightster by thousands. So the verdict? The Nightster is a nice bike with adequate power, good looks, and decent electronics. Its most outstanding qualities are its low weight, huge dealer support, and amazing customizability. However, the price is a miss. Once again, Harley is charging an arm and a leg for an entry-level machine which will turn off younger riders. And then you have to pay the other arm and leg to customize it. Gonna be hard to ride it without any limbs. Hopefully they sell lots of them in Europe, because with the 48 and Iron 883 still available in North America and for much lower prices, I don't see too many selling here after the initial early adopters are done snapping up the first batch. But what do you think? Is this bike worthy of the iconic Sportster name? Would you pay the rather steep price? How would you customize it? Please share your thoughts in the comments and cruise on, my friends.
If you're interested in any of the gear that Brooke and I wear or use, or the camera equipment we use to film this channel, the links are below. Everything listed there was bought with our own money and we are not sponsored by any company. However, the links below are affiliate links and the channel is paid a small amount for referring you to shop at no additional cost to you. We do not recommend any products that we are not satisfied with ourselves, but we do strongly urge you to do your research and select the correct size for items like helmets and clothing. As always, thanks for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And whatever you ride, enjoy it. Wave at other bikers no matter what they're riding. We're all part of a brotherhood and sisterhood. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and may the spokes be with you.